Hey guys, this is my Toyota 86 and I've been wanting to upgrade the head unit for a long time. We got in touch with Joy and they sent us over a head unit for us to install. We're over here at Project Cars and we're going to install the head unit. Let's head on in. So first thing that you need to do once you get into your vehicle is figure out what cables do you need, what's your current head unit's form factor. So radios come basically in single DIN or double DIN format.
Right.
This is actually a double DIN, but it's slightly different because Toyota's units are 200 millimeters wide. So you've got to get end plates and all of that lot. But first thing you need to do is, like I say, figure that bit out. So we can go ahead and disassemble the faceplate. We just literally pull here. This bit will pop out. That's that bit. Then you grab your trusty tools. It's got 4 10mm nuts on each side. Don't let any of the screws fall down into the dashboard. That's not going to be a fun day for anyone. 4 of those. And then you pull your original head unit out. Now on the sides, you've got the mounting plates on both sides. We need to go ahead and remove those, but it's easier if we just disconnect the head unit first. Just a couple of plugs. Easy as that. So we'll get back to this just shortly. But first of all, from a wire standpoint, you've got, this is your antenna cable. So most head units, if you're installing an aftermarket solution, you'll need an adapter. And then you've got your power cable. Again, we'll use an adapter for that. And your speaker cables and all of that. So these are all the original plugs that you're going to use.
Okay, so what do we have? So we got this unit out.
This is your original unit,
right?
With all the original plugs on the back.
Okay.
We've still got the mounting plates on the side.
Right. Okay.
And then this is the 11.6-inch bad boy from Joy.
Okay.
It comes in a double DIN or single DIN option depending on what you choose.
Right.
I always recommend to go with the higher end specs like the 8 GB RAM and 128 storage and all of that, and then you need to worry about it.
Okay.
Screen-wise, it's kind of modular. So you've got the double DIN unit, and you've got the screen, which uses a ribbon cable that just clips on the back.
Okay.
So you can choose like the 13-inch in a double DIN or a single DIN, 11.6, 9-inch, whatever you want. I'm going with the 11.6 because bigger is better, right?
Yeah.
So happy days. And then this is your harness, right?
Okay.
So you would want to have a look at what is your original car using. So I'm using a Toyota. This is the Toyota original harness plug.
Right.
And then basically Joy supply you with a standard, they call it ISO adapter. So these are just your ISO plugs.
Okay.
And then this plugs into your head unit.
Right.
On the back. So I've prepared this earlier. Basically, wired everything up, your power, your ignition, your speaker wires, all of those things run in.
Okay.
Then these plug into the harness. Then this plugs into the back. Then you've got a couple of additional things. So you've got like your rear view camera, for example. You've got your backup trigger wire. Everything is easily, nicely labeled and everything. So it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
And then I'm just using butt connectors to make things easier for if you want to disconnect and reconnect things at a later.
I'm sorry, what connectors?
They're called butt connectors, Danish. Get your head out of the toilet, okay? And this was the other thing I was mentioning. This is the antenna adapter, right? So on the back of the Toyota unit, this is the antenna.
Right.
But on the Joy, you need to use this style antenna plug. So it'll adapt it. Then again, you have a power wire, which it goes to antenna connect. That basically triggers your antenna to turn on as such. So we'll just go ahead and transfer the mounting plates.
Let's do that, yeah.
Now, also one thing to just bear in mind as well, Joying will supply you with the hardware as well to mount these brackets.
Right.
You don't want to use these. If you can see, like the thread is considerably longer than this. Now, you've got PCB and wiring inside and everything here. So if you use a longer screw, you could potentially screw into something inside. So just be cautious of that. Right, so...
I got you.
Cool. So this is the left side.
Okay.
This is the head unit. It's upside down. This is the left side. I'm going to take the plate. This can be a little bit of trial and error per se, but you'll get the hang of it. It needs to go... 1 second.
Like you said, trial and error.
Yes. Trial and error indeed. I think that is correct. We will find out. So literally screw that in. And these units honestly are very light, so I honestly just go with 2 screws in either side, and it's more than sufficient to hold it in place. So put that on the left side, flip it over, then we take the right side bracket, line it up, screw that in as well, screw that in as well. And that's pretty much it. So we've got everything mounted, we've got the harness. We're gonna head on into the car and we'll continue the installation from there. Cool, so we're back in the car now. Just for the sake of speeding the whole video up, we've pre-wired some stuff. So I've got my microphone here just mounted on the steering column. This is great because as a driver, you're gonna be talking in this direction, or you can mount it here and run all of the wires. Just keep in mind though, with any wires that you're running around the steering column, you've got moving parts, your brake pedal, gas pedal, clutch pedal, all of those things. So just make sure you tuck it up, use cable ties, keep everything neat and out of the way so you don't end up in a potential accident because of your negligence at the end of the day, right? Cool. So we've got our harness that we've prepared earlier. We've got the original Toyota plugs. So we're gonna go and plug those in. Simple. You don't need to cut your original, wiring loom and then have to deal with that if you want to sell the car or change to something else. I'm gonna plug that in there. So that's pretty much your power and your speaker wires sorted. Then we've got all these different connections here. This is the reverse camera wire that we've wired up earlier, your reverse camera trigger. You've got antenna, 4G, Wi-Fi, GPS. All of these things need to be wired up. And let's go ahead and do that. So let's grab the unit. This is all your 4G SIM card. So if you want data basically just to run directly on the unit, very, very handy to have. So these are nice and easy just to wire into the glove box. So basically take the 2 cables, let's just pop the head unit over here. Then we can go ahead and plug in your main connector on the back. Just make sure everything is firm and snug. Then we've got the GPS antenna. This you don't really need tools, you can just do everything kind of hand tight, that's sufficient. And we've got the antenna, gonna plug that in the back. Then we've got, say, the microphone. Gonna plug that in the back. Then we've got the 4G antenna. One of the sort of amazing things that's what's really, really awesome about Join, from at least the research that I've done, is they listen to customer feedback. So people, if you're an audiophile, you want to control, you know, every possible detail on your head unit, Join have listened to customer feedback over the years. They're not this Tom, Dick and Harry company that's just come about yesterday. One of the features is an optical cable. So they basically allow you to plug an optical cable into the head unit, and that runs to the back of the car with a auxiliary amplifier or secondary amplifier, and that has a DSP function, digital signal processor, for any of those that don't know, for doing time alignment. It improves your sound quality and all of those things. So just continue in connecting all the connectors up, all the different connections. Now we've got our USB, then we've got our reverse camera, rear view camera, and then we've got our rear view camera trigger, backup camera trigger wire. Very handy to just use butt connectors, makes it easy to connect, disconnect. You can wrap, we'll go back in afterwards and just wrap them in electrical wire so nothing comes unplugged. Then we've got the amp control, everything nicely labeled. Gonna plug that in as well. So just go through, double check. Okay, all the antennas are connected, USB's connected, other USB's connected. In this case, optical cable is connected, your harness is connected, antenna control is connected. So just gently basically feed all your wires back into the space. And there you go. And then we're gonna connect or screw in our 4 bolts that we used earlier and the mounting plates. Let's do this loosely for now. We want to just basically check everything is working first of all before we button everything up completely. So that's good for now. And then you'd put on your bezel again. Just feed the ribbon cable, clip that into place, and then you've got the screen part. So with the screen, you've got a ribbon cable. Just be careful to basically match up the notch here. If some of you folks are old enough and remember floppy disk cables and 3.5-inch drive cables, you can reminisce the ribbon cable, and then basically just line that up, clip it in, and that's it. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see if everything works. Bear in mind though, first time starting the head unit up, once you've had it unplugged and everything, it will take a little bit of time to initially boot just while it's configuring everything. There you go. Got the Join logo. So we've gone through, we've set everything up on the head unit. Let's just go through and make sure that everything's working. So I'm gonna put it in reverse. There's your reverse. Keep in mind, camera quality is completely up to you. You can plug in a CMOS 130, you can plug in a 20-derm camera, it really doesn't matter, but that's working nicely. Then we've, you know, got all the functions of the head unit. We're gonna just test that the audio is working, for example. They've got some built-in music or music already on the head unit. Let's try that out. Volume control, everything is working. And that's pretty much it. Thank you so much though to Project Cars, especially Stefan, for providing the space for us to not sweat and die in summer, Dubai's summer heat at the moment. and obviously to Joying as well for providing us with the head unit. We'll obviously go through and do another video going through the details and all the specs and testing out the unit and everything, but that will be in another video. Let us know in the comments below, what do you want to know? That's it. Thanks so much.